Hello, my friends. God bless you. Welcome back to Traveler of the Wood. I'm sitting in a very beautiful location right now, still continuing my trip here in Arkansas. But today I'm coming to you with a very respectful video. And I'm respecting nature's processes a lot today. Yesterday, my grandmother transcended from this life into the next. And whenever something like that happens, especially to a close family member, it really reminds us that death is always closer than we think. I guess I just wanted to make this video to be a little bit of a tribute to her, my grandmother, and tell you a little bit about her. She was the mother of 5 daughters. She was married to an abusive, alcoholic, asshole of a husband, and she stayed with him till his demise, which was caused from too much drinking. And she took care of her 5 children and made it look easy. That said, though, when my mother had me, my grandmother came out and lived with our family and lived with me for the first 17 years of my life. So as you can imagine, she was a very integral part of my upbringing. She was almost a third parent, you know. And whenever I had something that I couldn't approach my mother or my father with, I was able to always go to her. And she taught me something very important about parenting that I didn't learn from either of my parents, and that was always being an open and non-judgmental ear to your children. Obviously, want to steer them in the right direction, but sometimes kids are afraid to tell their parents things because they're worried about being judged or getting into trouble. And with my grandmother, I never felt that way. I always had someone that I could tell anything to, and she made it very clear to me growing up that she wanted to be that role for me. So I'm so deeply appreciative of her and all that she did for me throughout the years. She's a very special woman. But as I said, since she died yesterday, I hadn't seen her in person in many years, but I knew she was at a home, and unfortunately she never got to meet my wife. That was the one regret that I had about the whole situation, is that I wanted to introduce her to my wife. But my mother has seen her a lot and showed her pictures of me and my wife, and I'm grateful for that. And my mother stood beside her deathbed and was telling her how much I loved her and how much my mother loved her, and she knew, she understood. So I can't feel too guilty about that. But like I said earlier, death is always closer than we think. And it's easy to feel overwhelmed and anxious when you think about death, because there's so much that goes into death. You know, there's other people involved in a death. The deceased doesn't care about the happenings of this realm anymore, but everyone that's left here has to deal with the body, deal with all of the chaos that ensues afterwards. Yeah, that gives people who are dying extra anxiety, thinking about all the people they're going to leave behind, and all the people that are watching someone die. It gives them immense anxiety knowing that all of this is coming. But a very easy way to quell death anxiety is to know that this is not the end of the story. This is the beginning of the story. This whole act, this whole narrative that we're a part of here on this realm is just the first act. And after this, there is so much more that we can't even begin to comprehend, as we are told, biblically and otherwise. So I'm not going to worry too much about death. I know my wife is very concerned with death because she most certainly faces it all the time due to her cancer. And I try to keep reminding her that it's not the end, you know. But anyway, I guess I just wanted to make this video and be a little bit reflective on death and reflective on my grandmother. I will try to put a picture of her in this video. Very lovely woman and very important part of my life. So I'm so eternally grateful for her, and I know she can hear me right now making this video. And you know, when we hear about venerating our ancestors, a lot of Christians scoff at that idea, but we would not be here without them. God bless you all.